ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Sloka number 4, 9th chapter. अथ नवमोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्। भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः। यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम् वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय। सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम्। कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्। The 9th chapter starts with the glorification of the knowledge of Ishvara, the Lord. And glorification is that this is the greatest vidya one can have, greatest knowledge one can have. Because this knowledge puts an end to the bondage, the samsara, which everybody wants to be free from. Whether one knows it or not, everybody is seeking freedom, knowingly, unknowingly. And for that, the knowledge of Ishvara, finally ending up in the knowledge of Ishvara as oneself, He is the means. And for that Bhagavan Sri Krishna glorified the knowledge, and now from the fourth sloka he is presenting that wisdom of Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Pujya Swamiji used to say, for us, Ishvara is not a matter of belief, Ishvara is a matter of knowing. You can start with belief. It's a good beginning. Because you cannot know in the beginning. So you start with belief in Ishvara. That is how we started our affair with Ishvara. But belief should be converted into knowledge. Otherwise, your connection with Ishvara will not be very strong. So to be connected with Ishvara, one needs to know Ishvara the Lord. And therefore, in our tradition, the emphasis is given on knowing Ishvara. And Ishvara is known in three ways. One is that Ishvara is understood to be Ishta Devata, the one with a particular form. You look upon Ishvara as Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Devi, Ganesha. That is my first relationship association with Ishvara. And that itself is very, very useful for cushion effect. We have got so many shocks in our life. Nobody is free from challenges and shocks. And if you are having the relationship with Ishvara, who is looked upon as a particular Devata, Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Vishnu, any form you invoke Ishvara and you relate to Ishvara, you have some relief. Because when we have so many challenges, we find helpless. And helplessness can be addressed by seeking help. It is an intelligent way of living. When you are helpless, seek help. This is intelligence. Some people, when they are helpless also, they don't seek help because of their pride, ego, and therefore they suffer more. But of course, seek help from a right source. And the right source finally is Ishvara. All other sources can be doubtful. Sometimes they themselves have problem. When you start talking about your problem, before you start, they themselves will start their own problem. You go to the doctor and you see the doctor said, I have got backache, I have got headache, like that. So in life, this is what happens, that you go to someone for solution and they themselves have got so many problems. But seeking help from Ishvara will definitely help you, definitely give you this sense of relief, sense of support, and your sense of helplessness will be reduced. And what is the way to seek help? There are two ways. One is do prayers, do some japa, do some parayanam, do some puja. All of them are called prayers. And another thing is contribute to someone with the attitude that it is the manifestation of my Ishvara. So contribution and prayers will help you to get help from Ishvara. That is one way of relating to Ishvara. Very good way of relating. And here you may not have knowledge of Ishvara. You believe in Ishvara and still you will be blessed. In fact, most of the people relating to Ishvara are in this stage only. They are not graduating to the next level. In this level only. It's good enough, but it helps. is a good beginning but not good end. You should start with this stage, but you should not end your life with this stage. One needs to go to the next stage, and there you see everything as manifestation of Ishvara. And that can happen only when you have understood Ishvara. When you understand Ishvara as Ishvara is, then you can appreciate Ishvara everywhere. And then many of your psychological issues are also resolved because of your understanding of Ishvara. When you understand Ishvara, then Ishvara works like a therapist for you. You don't have to pay anything. Otherwise, therapy is very, very expensive. But this is a free therapist. Your understanding of Ishvara helps you to have Ishvara, the Lord, as a therapist. You feel validated because the therapy is nothing but feeling validated, being okay. And that is what is done by your understanding of Ishvara. As all, Ishvara is in the form of everything, pervading everything. That is the second understanding of Ishvara. So first understanding is Ishvara in the form of particular Devata, particular form, Ekarupa Ishvara. Then Vishwarupa Ishvara, Ishvara in the form of this entire universe. And that comes by understanding. And the third understanding of Ishvara is that Ishvara and me are essentially one and the same. Soham, that Ishvara I am. That is the final understanding of Ishvara. But all the way there is connection to Ishvara, and initially based on belief and later on based on understanding. And with that purpose here, to make you understand Ishvara as all, make you understand Ishvara and you are not separate, Bhagavan is talking about Ishvara Jnana. And in the fourth and fifth shloka, Bhagavan said, Maya tatavidam sarvam jagadabhyakta murtina. This whole world is pervaded by me, Ishvara. We are not seeing how to appreciate Ishvara pervades everything. Two ways we can see. One is, I see that everything is pervaded by the order. Like this clip is falling down. There is a physical order, the order of physics. And so I can appreciate Ishvara in the falling of the cliff. I am able to talk because of the order of Ishvara. You are able to listen because of the order of Ishvara. So all laws are governing in whatever is happening, whatever is there, the way it is because of order of Ishvara. I am able to speak because of the order of Ishvara. So my speaking is pervaded by the order of Ishvara. The body which is there with me, that also is pervaded by Ishvara, the order of Ishvara. You are able to hear, order of Ishvara. You are able to understand, that also is order of Ishvara. So I can appreciate the presence of Ishvara in the form of order. Means I am never away from Ishvara. Wherever I go, I can appreciate Ishvara. Night 12 o'clock you wake up and you say, I woke up now because of the order of Ishvara. You can appreciate the presence of Ishvara. So Ishvara is everywhere in the form of order. It makes the things the way the things are. The clip is behaving like a clip because of the order of Ishvara. Child is behaving like a child because of Ishvara. And sometimes adults also are behaving like a child because of order of Ishvara. That also is there. The adults are behaving like child. That also is order of Ishvara. The childish behavior of adults that also is order of Ishvara. I felt hurt, that also order of Ishvara. And other person felt hurt and shouted at me, that also is order of Ishvara. So everywhere you can appreciate the presence of Ishvara. This is one way of seeing. But of course, here it is talked about in more fundamental manner. How you appreciate the presence of Ishvara? Because everywhere Ishvara is everywhere. This you might have heard several times. But how do I appreciate Ishvara? Because I am seeing clip, I am seeing mic, I am seeing the book. I am not seeing Ishvara. For that, our Shastra is saying that when you see any object, what is your understanding? Clip is. That isness, existence of this clip is nothing but the manifestation of Ishvara. So clip is, mic is, book is, a boy is, a girl is, a man is, mountain is, that existence is Ishvara. That existence does not belong to that object, that is the manifestation of Ishvara. So you can appreciate Ishvara as existence everywhere. But for that, you need to have the mind, prepared mind, subtle mind, the mind which is relatively free from likes and dislikes. Otherwise, our mind is busy with improving the object, changing the object, and therefore our attention will not go on existence of the object, our attention will go on the names and forms of the object. Whereas seeing Ishvara requires to focus on existence of the object. And thus, by appreciating Ishvara to be existent, Sat Chid Ananda, that Sat Swarupa, you can see Maya Tatavidam Sarvam. And Ishvara by itself is Avyakta Murti. It is imperceptible. It is not a matter of seeing or hearing. It is a matter of understanding. That is why most of the people do not like Vedanta much. Because it is not something to be seen physically. Swamiji, you show me Brahman. Show me Paramatma. Like you are showing me clip, similarly you show me Brahman. It is not available. So, Avyakta Murtina. And Bhagavan said, I, Ishvara, am the Adhishthanam, the truth, the basis of everything. Like water can say, all the waves are in me, because water is the truth of all waves. Clay can say, I am the Adhishthanam of all pots are in me. Similarly, Bhagavan is saying, all things and beings, all of them are based on me. Masthani sarva bhutani. And here, good and not good doesn't matter. We cannot say only good people are based on Ishvara, wrong people are not based on Ishvara. Or Bhagavan is saying that all good people are in me, wrong people are outside. He doesn't say that. When it comes to the truth, good and not good, he doesn't count. Like scientist is seeing what is the density of gold. That time, gold, whether it is there, devata, some deity, or it is in the form of some rakshasa, what is called demon. Whatever be the form, density of the gold doesn't matter in whichever form it is. So good and not good do not matter when it comes to the truth. So Bhagavan says, all things and beings are based on me. Like water can say, all the waves, small waves or big waves, all of them are based on me. And I am not dependent upon them. Water is not dependent upon waves, waves are dependent upon water. And thereby what is suggested? That all things and beings, all nama rupa, They are mithya. And mithya means what? Not existing independently. Some people have the allergy to the word mithya. Because mithya is generally, sometimes it is translated as false. Then people will say, Swamiji, how can you say that the world is false? Does it mean my son is false? My daughter is false? My spouse is false? I don't like this Vedanta. If somebody calls my near and dear one to be false, I don't like it. Imagine, you love your spouse so much and somebody tells your spouse is false. You get irritated. So, we get irritated by this word mithya or false because we have got mithya understanding, wrong understanding of the word false, mithya. Mithya does not mean it is not available for experience. Mithya means it is available for experience but does not have reality, independent existence. Like you are seeing this mirage water. This mirage water is available for experience but it does not have existence of its own. Even this clip, if we analyze what is this clip, then we find that clip is nothing but a name which is given to a particular form, and this name and form do not have independent existence. What is there is plastic only. Plastic is given a particular form and name, therefore we call it clip. Otherwise there is no clip as a substance. And that is what Vedanta is saying, that world is mithya, means world does not have independent existence. It has got experienceability, but it does not have reality. It does not have independent existence. It is dependently existent. And that is what is said here, Masthani Sarva Bhutani. All bhutas are based on me. Means what? They do not exist independently. And I do not have dependence upon them. So the names and forms have dependence upon me, which is existence, but existence does not have depend upon these names and forms. Ornaments depend upon gold, gold does not depend upon ornaments. Gold can remain without ornaments. Waves depend upon water, but water does not depend upon waves. If waves are not there, still water can be there. So Bhagavan said, I, Satsvarupa Ishvara, am not dependent upon anyone. And Bhagavan says, even though all the things and beings are in me, but from my standpoint, they are really not there. So Bhagavan is making a contradictory statement. In the previous shloka, fourth shloka says, Masthani Sarva Bhutani. All things and beings are in me. And in the next sentence he said, all things and beings in me, all things and beings are not there. How can you say that somebody, some people, that Brazilian group has come? Is it there inside the room or not? Inside this hall or not? Is there? If somebody comes and asks me, is the group there? I said, yes. Really there? No, it is not there. Because I thought that immigration people have come. So I will say not there. I will not do that. I'm just example. So it is a contradiction. Somebody is there, you say also, and somebody is not there also, you say. How is it correct? How we can reconcile? We can reconcile because all things and beings are having their being in Ishvara, but Ishvara is free from being all of them. Let us imagine water is telling, all waves are in me, but in me, water, all waves are not there. Means what? I can remain without being waves. So it's a very interesting statement. Water is saying what? All waves are in me, but in me, water, H2O, waves are not there. Means for water to remain water, waves are not required. So waveness is not intrinsic to me, water. Similarly, Ishvara is telling that all things and beings are in me, but in me, all of them are not there. Means what? They are mithya, they are unreal, only available for experience without having substantial existence. So Bhagavan says, see my Aishwaram Yogam, see my nature. And Bhagavan said, I am the creator, I am the sustainer, and I am protecting all of them. Bhutabhrut, Bhutastaha, Mamatma, Bhuta Bhavana. I am the creator and I am the sustainer of all of them, and I am staying in all of them. Thus, Bhagavan said, even though I am the creator, sustainer, and the resolver of all of them, but still I am free from them. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan gave the example that all things and beings, they are in me like what? Like Vayu is there, air is there in space. Air is present in space, but air does not pollute space. Pollution of air does not affect space. We say space pollution, really speaking, space is never polluted. What is polluted is either the earth, water, or air. This space is never polluted. So even polluted air is obtaining in space, space remains unpolluted. Similarly, the entire world is in me, the existence consciousness, but it does not spoil me, pollute me. So Asanga Swarupa, unaffected nature of Ishvara was presented in the 6th shloka. Now in the 7th shloka, Bhagavan is saying, not only this Srishti and this Sthiti are there, even the resolution are there in me. And even when this creation, sustenance and dissolutions are happening, I remain unaffected. That idea is given. Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamita. Ishvara is consisting of two factors. One is called Maya, the power of Brahman to project the world, which is called Maya. And second is existence consciousness, which is called Brahma. So if you want the equation for Ishvara, what is Ishvara? Ishvara is equal to Brahman plus Maya. B plus M is equal to I. That is the equation. But when we say B, Brahman plus Maya, that plus is not usual plus. Otherwise what happens? This one clip plus another clip, two clips. So like that, Brahman and Maya combination is not there. So Brahman is the only reality and Maya is available for projecting unreal world. But for all practical purpose we say Ishvara is combination of Brahman, the reality, and the power of Brahman called Maya. And Bhagavan says here, Sarva Bhutani, all things and beings, Prakritim Yanti, they attain Prakriti, the unmanifest state which is called Maya, Mamikam, which is dependent upon me. When Kalpakshaye, at the time of the period of creation, we have got the creation in cyclic manner. Means what? Right now we have got the stage of Sthiti. There are three stages of creation. Three stages of the world. One is called Srishti, creation. Second is called Sthiti, sustenance. And third is called Pralaya, dissolution. And our Shastra makes a note that this Srishti, Sthiti, Laya is a cycle, and the cycle does not have a beginning. Means the creation, sustenance and dissolution, again creation, again sustenance, then again dissolution. If somebody asks me that when Swami did this cycle start, when did the cycle start? Cycle has not started at all. It has been there. Like a circle, it keeps moving. It means what? Right now all of you are here. In the previous cycle of creation, you were there. During Krishna's time, you were there. During Rama's time, you were there. And in the previous cycle also you were there. So you are always there. And therefore this creation, being the cyclic process, it keeps going. And therefore you need not have the fear of elimination. You can never be eliminated. Always there. Creation is always there. Bhagavan says, at the time of the period of creation, end of the period of creation, all the things and being will go to Prakriti. And punaha, again, kalpado, in the beginning of the next cycle of creation, aham visrujami, I create them. Therefore, in our Shastra, one important Siddhanta is given. Creation does not mean new, fresh origination. Creation is not equal to fresh origination. In other religion, they say that this creation started, the world started on particular day, Monday. It started. So Ishvara, they say God worked for 6 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then he got tired. Therefore, there is a Sunday. No work. So they have got the fresh beginning of the creation. Whereas in our Vedika Dharma, we say that there is a creation, but this creation was preceded by dissolution. Dissolution was preceded by the sustenance. Sustenance was preceded by creation. And this creation is not new origination. Only that which was unmanifest becomes manifest. Like you put some salt in water and you stir it, then the salt is dissolved in water. But again, you can, if you boil the water, again you can get back the salt. So the salt is not created. Salt which was unmanifest becomes manifest. So creation is not a fresh origination. Creation is just manifestation. So anything you see, it was already there in unmanifest state. You are seeing a lump of clay, in that pot is there. So when pot is created, really speaking, what has happened? It is not a newly created. Pot is not newly created. Pot was already there in clay, in unmanifest form. From unmanifest form, it becomes manifest. So what is creation? Unmanifest becoming manifest. It's a very nice thing to know. There is no new origination. Everything is there. Sometimes somebody gets angry. We may surprise, how come he is getting angry? How anger came? Because it was there. Anger came because anger was there, unmanifest in the person. Love comes because love was there, unmanifest. Everything was there, only it is getting manifest. My words which I am speaking now, those words were there in my mind, unmanifest. They become manifest. So there is no fresh beginning, there is only manifestation of what is there. And that is why good teacher in the school is the one who brings out the potential the student has. You don't have to make him intelligent. Everybody is intelligent. Intelligence is there in everybody. You have to just bring it out. So Bhagavan says this creation is cyclic. Manifest, unmanifest, again manifest. So he said, at the end of the cycle, this creation is becoming unmanifest, and after some time, it again becomes manifest. And now in the next shloka, Bhagavan says, I am doing this since time beginningless, without having any first time creation. That idea he gives in the next shloka. Prakritim swamavashtabhya विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृष्णम् अवशं प्रकृतिर्वशात्. So Bhagavan says, Swam Prakritim Avashtabhya, having presided over my Prakriti, Maya, Punaha Punaha Visrujami, I create again and again. What? Bhuta Gramam, the multitude of beings. Krishnam, the entire multitude of beings. Avasham, which is helpless. Every jiva is born again helplessly. You cannot say, from next cycle I will not be born. You cannot will it. Even if you wish, if you have got the punya papa karma and the samskaras, then you have to be born. So Bhagavan says, all jivas are avasham. Avasham is helpless. What makes jiva helpless? The punya papa, samskara, born of the ignorance, and ignorance born mistakes. So jiva is Brahman alone, but as though becomes helpless because of ignorance and ignorance born wrong conclusions, which leads to punya papa, and because of that jiva is helplessly. And there is a way out. How jiva can become free from this cycle of creation? By discovering oneself to be free from this, the doership and enjoyership. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. I am free from punya. I am free from papam. I do not have raga. I do not have dvesha. Aham brahmasmi. I am Brahma. If this understanding is received and assimilated, it's not simply a verbal activity, it is understanding. Then assimilated understanding, that person becomes free from the cycle. Otherwise, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, being born again and dying again, that is the lot of jiva. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevasishyate. Om Shanti